So if you're a marketing manager, director, or business owner, you might have heard recently that the latest thing we're supposed to all be scared of in SEO is the listicle, or, an article that reads like a list. These listicles are really easy to write and to read, and for a long time, they were almost a surefire way to wind up in search results for any keyword. And as of late, people have been sounding the alarm that listicles are actually now bad and Google's penalizing them. But you don't need to panic. That's not the whole story, and it's not entirely true. I'm Emily. I am a longtime SEO content strategist and writer who produces plenty of high-ranking, high-converting listicles for my own business and for my clients, including ones that I've written recently. In this video, I'm going to walk you through why the traditional way of writing listicles no longer works, what you need to do now to have a list article perform well in traditional and AI search results, and what are the 3 kinds of list articles that you should be writing to get the most bang for your buck in search results. By the end of this video, you'll have my complete list writing framework that I use with my clients to make sure that their listicles work and they achieve rank while avoiding Google penalties. I also have a free resource that you can use to begin quickly outlining listicles the right way today. Link is in the video description if you want to grab it. So first off, when someone says to you that list articles are being penalized by Google and they're no longer getting good ranking and traffic results in search, that's only partially true. Google is no longer rewarding listicles that always promote the publisher's product first. So if you are writing a library of list articles in which you are constantly positioning your company, service, product, self, whatever, as the #1 solution, that is what's going to get you in trouble. That is traditionally how listicles were always written, and it's been deemed to be borderline spammy self-promotion. Now, that isn't to say you can't promote yourself. Promoting yourself through a listicle requires being very balanced. First, listicles need to be really well aligned with your brand and audience. You shouldn't be creating a list article about something that's not going to be important to your audience or in some way relevant to what you do. If you are trying to target searches that have nothing to do with your industry, you're going to be considered spammy by search engines. And second, you have to say what the actual best choice is for a specific scenario or question. So if you're producing a list article and you are not truly the absolute peak #1 best option, don't put yourself in list spot #1. And you might say, hey, well, that sounds counterintuitive. Why would I ever want to write something where I'm not saying I'm the best? And it's because honesty. We're at a point right now where people, searchers, don't always know who and what they can trust online. And having a really honest, authentic voice is going to help you long term because you're going to be building up the trust and credibility that is absolutely essential for ranking in Google results and AI results going forward. If people realize, and search engines realize, that you are just trying to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, it's not going to feel genuine. And that feeling of being genuine is really key. So when I am creating listicles for myself or for a project I'm working on, I often take an approach where instead of just doing one big list of like the top 10 options for blank, I will break it down by use case. The article will be positioned as taking a look at possible options for a type of person, type of searcher, industry, need, etc. And then I will say, such and such option is best for A. Such and such option is best for B. That way I can very clearly position myself or the client I'm working for as being the best for a specific audience cohort or as the solution to a specific problem. I'm not broadly saying that, oh, I'm the best ever, which is what can come off as spammy or scammy if you do it too much. And even though I'm not going out of my way to like gas up and talk up competitors, I'm not knocking them either. I'm saying, if you want to do XYZ, this competitor can be a really good choice because of the features they offer or the variety of their price plans. I'll also usually work in a drawback too. Like, okay, but they're maybe not the best if your solution is XYZ. Then you should try us instead. So it's a way of being balanced and kind of giving that push and pull between acknowledging that there are other solutions that are valid, but still promoting the specific reasons and situations in which your product is the best. And finally, you only want to write a listicle if the keyword that you're targeting is actually one that people want to read listicles for. And that's really easy to tell. Run a search for the keyword you're interested in targeting and look at the top page of results. If you see other lists in the search results, that means that content format is still expected, wanted, and valuable. That's not to say you want to rip people off directly, you don't, but you can go in and create a really balanced list that targets exactly what the readers need. And typically in these cases, if I am writing a list article, I'm going to focus on the best products or services for a specific use case, the top number of things someone should know about a subject, and potentially doing more of a direct competitor comparison where I'm giving a miniature review of each one. And that's really where the best for X, best for Y type of balanced conversation comes into play. So if you want to copy that process for what I do when deciding when and how to write a listicle and get a walkthrough of what all the different points you need to consider are, you can grab the free downloadable guide linked in the description. This is the same strategy that I use on my own projects, so I know it works, and I've made it as easy to understand as possible.